Welcome to Gettysburg College's Channel 34 News. I'm Holden Mills, filling in for Brian Nordcross and Samantha Spence. I'm going to be filling you in on the past 2 weeks. Last week, multiple college clubs, led by the International Club, were able to conduct a first annual African Heritage Week. The week consisted of 13 events, ranging from an African finance lecture delivered by Malawi Finance Minister Gburg to a speech on African foreign policy by Tanzania Ambassador Augustine Mahinga, to a discussion of racism on campus at an open e-race meeting. The week ended with the Big Night in Africa dinner, an event that brought not just Gettysburg campus, but also some members of the Hack and Dickinson student bodies to celebrate African heritage. The night was headlined by a fashion show of traditional African clothes and a performance by Gettysburg students who have been learning how to perform traditional African music.
Always providing for me, great is your mercy towards me, great is your grace.
There is plenty of traditional food and dance, creating what many thought was a perfect conclusion to a very successful week. Last week, Gettysburg College received a very important visitor, the ambassador to the United Nations from the country of Tanzania. Coming to participate in Gettysburg College's first annual African Heritage Week, Ambassador Augustine Mahinga was given a tour of the campus, sat in on Gondal Gondwi's lecture about finance in Africa, and delivered his own lecture to the foreign policy of Tanzania and Africa. Channel 34's own Chase Raywinkle was able to sit down with the Tanzanian ambassador and talk about his stay in Gettysburg, as well as what he thought about Gettysburg international student programs and the events planned for this week.
Well, I've just come, but the little I know about Gettysburg is very encouraging. First, it's a small university compared to the university which I went to in Toronto. In the 70s already, it had a population of over 15,000 students. Actually, to be precise, it was about 20,000, with a substantial student population of African students and students from other parts of the world. But it was really just a beginning and opening to African students in particular. We could hardly count ourselves on our fingers, really, at that time. But I understand Gettysburg is also beginning to have an international outlook and character with a growing African student population. And it's not only African in the sense of Africa. Many people think Africa is one country, but it's 53 countries. And the countries represented here by the small African student population is encouraging. But most encouraging is the whole program that has been designed to study African issues, African history, African politics, African development, and globalization issues. I think this college has a tremendous potential to be a very good center of learning for African studies. And its small size gives tremendous opportunity to students to interact with the faculty. And I think the school has been here for many years and is well resourced, so it can invest on books or research and could be one of the outstanding small colleges, but significant in African studies in the United States.
As part of the first African Heritage Week, Professor Elaine Stillwagon, chair of the economics department, delivered a speech on AIDS and its relation to poverty in African countries. Her assertion was that poor economic conditions, poor health conditions, and increased poverty made it easier for the virus to spread in African countries more than other parts of the world. To address the current economic situation in Africa, the finance minister of Malawi, Honorable Godal Gondwe, discussed the steps his country is taking to improve their financial condition. With that story, Channel 34's own Andrew Arrange.
The Honorable Goodall E. Gondway spoke at the second annual Derek K. Gondway Memorial Lecture. The lecture is an annual memorial for his brother, the late Derek Gondway, a former economics professor here at Gettysburg College. According to Elaine Stillwagon, chairperson of the economics department,
you would not have known how well loved he was, or the impact he had on students, colleagues, and the administration of Gettysburg College. And those who only knew him here would not have images of the land where he was born, where he returned to work, and where he was laid to rest.
This annual lecture brought over 150 people to Penn Hall Lyceum on October 24th. Before the lecture, Jessica Gondway, daughter of the late professor, performed one of her dad's favorite songs.
My home is over Jordan.
The Honorable Goodall Gondway is the Minister of Finance for the Republic of Mali and also a Member of Parliament. He spoke about the initiatives that his government was working on and what further steps he was personally taking to combat the economic disparity of his country.
Poverty that prevails there. As Ms. Stillwagon has just said, I am a Member of Parliament. Every week I go into my constituents' villages and I partake in the life there.
Gettysburg College made history by becoming the first college ever to participate in Pantene's Beautiful Lengths campaign. Here with that story is John Lawler.
This past Friday, men and women from across the campus came together to show their support for cancer sufferers by donating their own hair to the Pantene Beautiful Lengths campaign. This campaign was developed by Pantene to provide wigs made from real hair to women who have lost their own hair due to cancer treatment. Gettysburg College was bestowed with the honor of being the first college to participate in this initiative. The college rose to the occasion by recruiting over 70 members of the community to participate. Two of the co-chairs of the event, Allie and Jessica, shared the story behind the initiative.
I had a phone call from Pantene. Someone who works for Pantene and is in charge of the campaign was the Gamify at Gettysburg, so they wanted to kick off their college campaign. So we're actually the first college campaign. Yeah. And so Gamify got the Panhellenic and also the Women's Center involved.
And we just started meeting with each other, the school, and then had conference calls with the Pantene program, and they kind of guided us on how to run this best, and then we just kind of used our knowledge about philanthropy events on campus, and we've had a really great turnout. We had 140 girls in the spring pledge to cut their hair. So our goal is to have that many, 10% of the women on Gettysburg College campus.
To find out more about Pantene Beautiful Lengths campaign and to learn how you can make a difference, please visit www.beautifullengths.com.
And with sports is Channel 34's own Ali Salatino and Deontay Austin.
Good evening, and welcome to GSPN. Tonight you have with you Deontay Austin
and Ali Salatino.
Gettysburg football team defeated McDaniel 38-14 with a 6-3 record on the season. This is Gettysburg's first winning season since 1995.
Also, the women's rugby team defeated Muhlenberg 63-15 in their national advancement to the D4 championship in Boston. Good luck to the Lady Bullets.
Unfortunately, your men's soccer team lost to Johns Hopkins 4-1 in the Centennial Conference Men's Soccer Championship.
Also, both the men and women swimming team defeated Washington College in the season opener. Way to go.
Good luck to all sports that are participating in the playoffs this season, and good luck to the spring sports that are coming up.
Join us in 2 weeks for the reaction to the Tim Wise convocation speech, plus another controversial roundtable discussion. I'm Holden Mills. You stay classy, Gburg.